Helen, thank you so much for hopping on. The pleasure is all mine. Great to see you face to face. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
So guys, for those of you who don't know, Helen is about to share her story in terms of what she's achieved. I know it looks like I'm in a dungeon here. We still have limited lighting in the new home, guys, so please bear with us. I feel like I'm being interrogated by Helen now any second.
You will be.
I will be. Here we go. So straight away off the bat, Helen, if you don't mind sharing, what was it that you struggled with before you started working with us? What were the main things that you were struggling with?
Emotional eating. I think I have done it all of my life, even as part of a family. I know we all did it. We would celebrate with food. We would console ourselves with food. We would boredom eat. I remember when I had my first call with you, I remember describing that I had like a Pavlov's dog, where if my mum came in the lounge, I would look and wonder, has she got some kind of treat for me? Which, when you look back, it's like, oh, I wasn't very old then either. It's not a good start to healthful ways, is it? But yeah, the emotional and comfort eating, and not feeling like I ever had any control of it. I would just absentmindedly drift to the kitchen, and I'd do it millions of times in a day, for no reason. Just the habit is the habit. I was just drawn to the treats cupboard as such. And I had my son in February, and it was getting worse pre-baby, but yeah, we just spiraled out of control, really. Me and my husband, we would sit in the evenings just watching telly, eating chocolate and biscuits and cakes, and thoroughly enjoying it. But then within the hour, when I was feeling terrible, and then all that guilt kind of seeps in, and then in the morning, sorry, fly, we would just be like, why did we do that? And I feel like I've got like a food hangover, and then it would just be the same again and again and again. And I felt really stuck, and I felt really tearful, and I cry every time I speak to you. I don't think I'm going to cry today. I'll rein it in, but well, good news stuff anyway. Yeah, I just felt like in a really low place. My mindset was negative. I remember actually sat there thinking about something and saying to my husband, quite happy with average. I'm quite happy being mediocre. I'm like, just as a defense mechanism. And I'm really not. I have ambitions. We have ambitions as a family. I have goals, and yeah, I just needed something to flick it all back on again, because I was just going down and down and down, and I don't know where I would have ended up, really. And my weight was just creeping up and up and up. And I got to a size that I know I was not happy with. And I thought, if I creep into the next bracket, there's no going back. I'm going to be lost. I think that's what was the crucial point, really. I was ready I needed to do something. And then you just popped up on my Facebook like some fitness angel.
I'll take that. Well, look, I've heard that before. But look, in terms of what you were talking about there, oftentimes in life, it needs to get to a certain stage, or it needs to get so severe that it actually encourages or pushes us to make that change. And the difficult thing is that when we find ourselves saying things like you were, I'm okay with average, I'm happy with this, things aren't that bad, it could be worse, what we do is we indirectly minimize the problem. We downplay what we're going through. We push some of our feelings under the rug, and then unfortunately that actually can reduce the urgency to change something, and then things get worse until eventually, as you said, you get to that bracket or that new dress size where you feel, if I hit this, there's genuinely going to be no going back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What had you tried in the past?
I did Slimming World, and it worked at the time, and then I put it all back on again. I did the Joe Wicks stuff, and I only half-heartedly attempted that and quickly bailed, because it was effort, and I just wasn't that bothered at the time. When we were getting married, actually, I did extreme calorie counting and weight measuring, and like extreme though, it was obsessive, and it made me feel terrible. And then I put it all back on again because it was too obsessive. It was like, I'm going to die if I don't get these numbers. And I got the numbers, and we got married, and I felt amazing on our day, and we had a honeymoon, and all the training I've been doing, and I've been doing so much running as well. I felt amazing. I just let it all slip away. And now, like, I'm getting back into running, I could really kick myself hard because I was doing really well, and I've got to start from scratch. So you live and learn, don't you? But as I say, sustainable change is what I wanted with you, and that's what your strapline, sustainable change, the word in there really sparked my interest. And I'm a researcher by nature. I can't dive in. I've got to do lots of research. So I looked at all of your entire Facebook and your website, and I even had a preliminary call with one of your lovely team, and she asked me on a scale of 0 to 10, how are you? And like, ready? And I was like, I'm an 8. And she was like, well, this isn't for you then. You've got to be, I'll send you a load of free stuff, see if you can get on track. And it might be that's all you need. Fair enough. Like, there was no pressure. And I was like, oh, I can't accept that. I can't let this slip through my fingers. So yeah, I had to, as the 5-second rule, I just had to jump. I had to have some courage. It was crazy, Alex, though, because I didn't discuss it. He's going to come downstairs now. I didn't discuss it with my husband, which we normally discuss everything. I just did it and told him later, which is not like me. So yeah. I don't know what it was. It just happened, and I asked for forgiveness rather than permission. But no, he's fully supportive. It was just the right time. It was like amazing. Just the right time. I'd seen all these people doing the lockdown, like mental workouts, and be like, crazy, not doing that just because it's lockdown. And then it all, like, it seemed to relax, and we got a bit back into normal life, well, as normal as it's ever been lately. And then I thought, oh, I missed a trick there. What were we doing? You know, and my mind was just, sorry.
The extra time you have in your hands, people obviously want to either put that into looking at how bad the world can be or is right now in lots of ways, or even funneling that extra time and energy into something for you. Something genuinely for you, Helen. And I'm smiling at what you're saying about Jess, because we do have to obviously, unfortunately, turn people away, because, well, I'm not in the business of setting someone up for failure. And trust for me is everything. You need to trust us. We have to trust that you're honest with us, you know, and if you have trust, then, well, look at you, Helen. And I'm not even going to get into it yet, because I'm going to get ahead of myself. But now what you've achieved is incredible, absolutely incredible. But before we get into that, what made you feel that we could help you as a team?
The different approach. It didn't feel like the support as well, because as I say, I looked all over the Facebook and I was like, wow, there's loads of people here, and they're just like, it's relentless. It just goes that. I was like, oh, I want to be part of this. This feels like teamwork rather than like being just out on a limb. You have got such a warm personality, and you come across trustworthy. You drag poor Babs into everything as well, so it felt like this is like a man that's invested his life and soul into his business.
A picture of me here, actually. She was here a few minutes ago. I'm like, Babs, sorry, out you get.
Gotta go. Poor Babs. And she's always probably been locked in a cupboard somewhere, isn't she?
She guides me in everything in life. I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate.
That's good. And that comes across. You talk, you know, that's good. That's good qualities that people are sold on as well. The honesty and the trustworthiness and stuff. And I liked that, because with all the other things that are out there, there isn't the psychological, well, the threefold effect, really, the nutrition, the psychology, and the fitness side of things. It would just felt 100% well supported, because it was a psychology that I needed, because my trade is fitness and stuff like that. I knew I could do it. I could reason my way through the food. The less calories I put in, the better. But it was all up here. It's that stuff that I was thinking, oh, that is what I really need. And the moment that I put the phone down from, was it Jess? She was lovely, by the way. Jess was so nice on the phone. Oh, my heart sank. And I thought, oh no, I can feel this like running, like slipping through my fingers. And I think I had a week before speaking with yourself. And your tone of voice, I don't think you were convinced I was going to sign up for it. And I thought, I'm going to shock him. I'm going to shock him and say, actually, there's no way I'm not going to sign up to this, because I cannot let this pass me by. I just had that feeling, that like the pivotal moment before you jump. And then I signed up for it. And then I instantly thought, oh, uh-oh, I'm going to be big trouble. But I wasn't. It was fine. And just this like nerve-wracking, like, I know something big is happening here. I don't know what yet, but it's going to happen. Yeah, it was just perfect timing for me. It was just meant to be. Yeah.
I know this call is completely about you, but on a personal note, when I hear that change in your tone of voice, not just now, but when I can hear that person have a little bit of nerves, be a little bit scared, but have the courage to do it anyway, and I can hear that change in the pitch, it just gives me such reward. And you know, you can hear someone smiling when you're talking to them on the phone.
I bet.
It's one of my favorite things. If you hear someone smile, obviously you can see it now, but if you can hear someone smiling on the far side of the phone, it's so rewarding. And speaking of which, rewards, what have you achieved, Helen?
Well, when we spoke on the phone, I put it in a specific order. And I'll go in the same order. That I've lost 1 to 2 dress sizes, depending on what I'm wearing. And then, yes, I think I wish they did half sizes in England, and I think they might start to. But I don't. I want to lose the 2. I want to be the 2 dress sizes down. I've lost. I haven't totted it up, but centimeters, and definitely a full stone and a bit, which is just brilliant. In 12 weeks as well, for it to just gradually chip off. I was really chuffed with that, because I didn't want it to go and then back up again. So, because that's what has happened in the past. My mindset, I should put that above all of the others. That's the one that I should have put first. My mindset, I feel so different, so much more motivated and positive and driven. And if I've had a day, like even this week, I had a day where I just felt a bit like, just not in the right frame of mind. And all of a sudden, it was like my inner voice just went, "You're not giving up. Stop this." And I finished my workout, and I thought, oh, I'm so glad, because I would have given up in the past. I would have stopped and thought, oh, I just can't be bothered. I've had enough of this now. But I didn't. I thought, I'm determined. I can't have come this far and start letting these little naughty habits kick back in again. So my mindset and the way I'm looking at life as well, and that one day off isn't going to ruin everything as long as I get back to it. And my energy levels and my motivation to do physical stuff. And what's really like perked me up a bit more is it's motivated other people. A couple of my friends have said,
Really?
well, one specifically, it was really nice actually, because I was like, yes, let's pass it on, pay it forward, let it be infectious, let's build people up. That she said, oh, you inspired me to get back to running, and she gets married next year. And I thought, oh, come on, you can do it. Let's do it. And I said, do you want to do a marathon with me? And she was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. But she will get back to it. She's really motivated. But when people just need that little bit of a kick sometimes. And even like a lady at school.
That's your doing. All of that's your doing. So right now, you're not just affecting yourself, but you're inspiring other people around you, and the people obviously you care about. But how do you feel? How do you feel knowing that you are actively helping those people?
Warm and fuzzy inside. That I imagine a fluffy heart feeling. I like that feeling. I'm a children's physio. I like that feeling of knowing that I have helped somebody, not from like the egotistical point of view, that it's just that I've given you this and now look, you run with it, and and it's you now. You know, that feeling of that, yeah, I may have planted that seed, but you're the one doing it, but perhaps you just needed the right direction. So yeah, it's you must get this. It is addictive. It is addictive helping people, because you want to help as more and more and more. And yeah, it's rewarding. It's a nice feeling, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do genuinely feel that like success is getting what you want, but fulfillment is enabling other people to get what they want. And that's true reward. And if you work as a pediatric physio, obviously you're well aware of this. But I mean, what for you made it sustainable?
Again, the thought processes, the looking at food as, I wrote loads of your little phrases down all over my my folder that I've got. That food is fuel. My favorite. Food is fuel is the one that I tend to drum through my head the most. If I'm having a bit of a food is not for that. Food is fuel to make me feel better. I try hard to use your pillars of did it taste good? What's it going to make me feel like? That's it. Yeah. The mental toughness stuff, that I think has been great. My husband's coming down now, and our squeaky stairs. Well, the other way, ran the other way. He'd love to, I'm sure, if
no worries. Good.
Childcare. Do you want to shout hello?
No worries.
Louder. Hello, he says. He says, thank you, Alex.
Hello. Thank you. You've been so supportive. Everyone's in alignment.
He has. Brilliant. He's been a superstar. He's been a superstar. Yeah. That's so the sustainable stuff, definitely my mind stuff, really. And also just that it's not once you're in the flow of it, it's not rocket science, is it, to look at labels? Like today I did, and I was like, I wouldn't have bothered before. I wouldn't have looked at the traffic light system, and I was like, oh, that's not good, and put that back. So it's just got to be part of my daily life now, really. Not got to, it is. And remembering everything.
And that little change of your verbiage is really important. I should, I got to, I have to. All these phrases are like shackles that make it actually become more of a chore. But if you say things like, I choose to, I want to, or this is who I am, this is what I do. While that might seem very insignificant, it's huge, because it just reinforces subconsciously that we're actually enjoying the process, and it's not a chore. And it's not a chore. And you mentioned mindset more than once, and I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we often say, like, it's not rocket science, I know this stuff, but the thing is, it's actually one of my goals in the last 12 months have been, I am never going to say I know something if I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing it, I'm not going to say I know it, because implementation is far more important than information in so many ways. But if you had anybody right now, Helen, who you thought was on the fence, who thought this was a scam or a gimmick, what would you say to them?
That you wouldn't have so many positive reviews, Facebook people of the community, a team of such magnitude, if it was all just a scam. To trust their instincts, because my gut was telling me I cannot let this go. But again, you could have been a scam. You could have been a scam, and I would have been very sad afterwards. And the trust that all of us that have given testimonies would not be fibbing for a scam. Well, I am also HPCP registered, so I would be struck off if I was supporting some kind of scam. And that was the other thing I checked with you. You said go and check, and I checked, and there you were. So, you know, health professionals would be, you know, slammed to rights if we were doing stuff like that. So there's no sniff of scam here.
Do you know what, Helen? I would have to bring you on every single week. You are just an absolute refreshing bowl of joy. You are. You know that. You've just such an energy about you.
Thank you.
And especially on the phone yesterday. But I mean, on camera, it's even magnified even more. It really is.
I get
Brilliant. Well,
I get worse the less sleep I have though. So you might want to pick your days. Having an 8-month-old is 9-month-old. He's just gone 9-month-old. So bear that in mind, Alex, for your future. Get all the sleep in now.
Well, look, to be fair, I'm sure the next few years that'll become our situation. Fingers crossed and touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood.
Right now, I think touch wood. Absolutely, we'll stick with the Cavapoo and the Cavachon to keep us up at night. Although I sleep through it. The poor Babs who has to deal with it. Hopefully that'll change when we have kids. I know, poor Babs.
You won't let you sleep through that. Get up.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, it is our date night, so I am going to jump off and we're going to spend time together, myself and Babs. But first of all, most importantly, Helen, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for not just everything you've achieved, from inspiring other people, from being incredible to work with, a high achiever, and I can tell you're not done yet. I can tell you're chomping at the bit. What are you going to achieve in the next 12 months? I'm going to go into your head right now. What are you going to achieve in the next 12 months?
Well, I'll have done my marathon, definitely. My 3 that you said, I wrote them down. I'm going to be comfortably in that next down size bracket. I'm going to be able to do 10 push-ups. I can only just about do one, so that's going to take some work. And I'm going to have solid abs. I've still got a little mum roll just there. It's only little, but that'll be gone.
I love it. And I've never felt more confident in anything that you're going to achieve that. I really am. That mindset. Helen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. You're a ball of joy. And I really, really mean that. Thanks a million. Have a cracking day. And I shall see you in this group, hopefully Monday, 7 p.m.
Yes. Yeah. Enjoy your date night.
Perfect. We will. All the best. Thanks a million.
Bye.
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 Cheers, Helen. Bye.
Bye.